Guy's Foodies! Welcome to Funguy's Kitchen. I'm Funguy the Entertainer, and we're going to show you how to take leftover prime rib. As you saw from the previous show, I made a larger prime rib in case anybody showed up. They did show up, but way after dinner, so the food was already in the refrigerator. So we're going to make prime rib fajitas today using leftover prime rib. And of course, we had to have Piggy in here because, you know, Piggly Wiggly is our meat sponsor. All right, here's what we're going to do. I already prepped everything because you've seen me chop up vegetables and stuff like that I don't know how many times, and I had a few people say, hey, we don't have a whole lot of time to watch a 45-minute video, so I decided to shrink this down a little bit by prepping the vegetables, and I'll just explain something really quick. All you need is green pepper, red pepper, and onion for your vegetables. Very, very simple. And then you need your meat. As you can see, I've already sliced everything up. You notice how thin the slices are. You don't want them too fat. What I do with the peppers is I slice them thin and then cut them in half so that they're about 1.5 inches to 2 inches long. Because if they're 4 inches long, that's just an awful big piece. And I did the same with the prime, only I made that a little longer because the meat needs to be a little bit more substantial. First I sliced them longwise, then I cut them in half so that it's a really good piece of meat. Now, since the prime is already cooked, we don't need to do that first. What we're going to do first is season the vegetables. Put the vegetables in the oven the refrigerator for an hour after they're seasoned to let the vegetables absorb the flavors, and then we'll come back and do that. But here's all you need. You need lemon juice or lime juice. Lime juice is more prevalent in Mexican food, but I did not have lime juice, but I do have lemon juice. Still citrus, that's what's important. Cumin, garlic powder, and salt. That's it. Okay, first thing you do is you pour a little bit of lemon juice over everything. Make sure it gets a good cover. I'm going to say that's probably about 3 tablespoons worth. Shake it a little bit, make sure everything gets coated. Okay. Again, measuring on this is a little bit more difficult because if you just drop a plop in there, it's going to stick to one area. So I'm going to use a shaker. You're basically not using a whole lot. You just want a good covering of salt. What I do is I do 1 full cover on the top, and then I put some on the side of the bowl because when we flip it, the stuff that didn't get coated in the first place will now hit the sides of the bowl. Do the same with your garlic powder. Make sure you got a nice good cover. Put some on the sides here. Cumin, you want to go a little light on unless you really, really like cumin. Cumin is a very strong spice. So we're just going to put a little bit in here, just like that. That's it. And again, toss it. Spin it around. Make sure everything gets covered. Oops, piece came out. If you look in here, you can see everything, all the vegetables have covering on them now. The meat stays off to the side because we're going to end up cooking this. And I should have said something at the beginning. This is going to be a caramelized fajita. I say that because most places you go to, they just barely cook the vegetables to keep them crisper. I'm a huge fan of caramelized vegetables. In order to caramelize them, you cook them, and I'll show you that a little later. So we're going to let this sit for an hour in the refrigerator, then we'll come back. It's going to look just like this, but we'll come back and I'll show you about caramelization and make the dinner. It's that easy. I'll see you in just a few moments. All right, Funguy's Foodies, we're back. The vegetables have been sitting. They're all nice and ready to go. There's a couple other things you're going to need. The condiments for the fajitas. There's multiple things. Sour cream, petite diced tomatoes, shredded cheddar cheese, or whatever cheese you like, and some people like lettuce. I'm not going to do lettuce today. I'm just going to do the first 3. I have seen other things put on it, but that's really all you need. I've got them off to the side, and of course you're going to need tortillas. The first thing you want to do once you have everything ready, by the way, I left the meat out for an hour so it gets closer to room temperature since it's already pre-cooked. You want it to cook quickly because it's prime rib. You don't want it overcooked. So the first thing you do is you pour olive oil in the bottom of your frying pan. Now, personally, I would have preferred to use bacon grease. I think bacon grease is much, much tastier, but olive oil is the normal method for doing fajitas, so that's what we're going to do. Make sure you have a good coating on the bottom. It does not have to be deep, it just needs to be a good coating. All right, turn your heat up to medium-high. Let it build up a little heat. I am looking for a cookware sponsor. I have sent out a few letters to see what would happen. One of the best ways to do this is with cast iron. I have seen some cast iron cookware. I have not cooked on cast iron since I was in Boy Scouts. We did everything in cast iron when we were Boy Scouts. This would be great in cast iron. You do it in the oven and the broiler. But this is stovetop. This is what most people are going to be able to do. So, and again, we're going to caramelize these vegetables. So you want this oil to get hot first. And then we're going to pour the vegetables in there, and we're going to stir it, cover it up. We're going to cook it for real close to 5 minutes, stirring occasionally to make sure that we get the consistency we're looking for. Right before it's ready, we toss the meat in, because again, the meat's only going to take 1.5 to 2 minutes tops to cook, because it's already cooked. You just want to heat it up. So let's keep an eye on this. It takes a little while. Oh, while we're waiting for that to heat up, don't forget, win an apron. All you have to do is comment on any of the shows. I'm a Funguy foodie. I want to win, or I want to win the apron. I want to win is fine, but if you say apron, that's kind of cool because that's what you're going for. And remember, please share to your friends and tell them if they subscribe and they write in there that you asked them to subscribe, you get an extra entry for this apron. And of course, they get an entry for doing the same thing. How cool is that? All right. So the apron's here. Oh, let's see. I already said that there. This feels like it's just about there. So we just pour this in here. Yep, you can hear that sizzle. Suppose I should have had my spatula out here already. Getting in the last extra seasonings in here off the sides of the bowl. All right, that's done. Stir it around real quick. Put the lid on it. Okay, now, like I said, we're going to stir this every couple of like 45 seconds to a minute or so. You don't really need a timer unless you, really, you don't need a timer. You're going to stand here. If you walk away, use a timer, but what are you going to do for 45 seconds? So, is there anything else I missed? Oh, I should have a platter ready. Actually, you know what would be better than a platter? Let's use a nice bowl for the vegetables. Okay. Actually, that's too small, and we'll probably just leave everything right in the pan. That would make more sense. This is my first time doing pan-fried fajitas at home. I'm used to doing them, obviously, in the old days at a restaurant where everything is huge. So I guess I won't need this. Okay. Now we go in here, give it a stir. One of the things that I have learned is vegetables are not evil. I grew up, my mother was not the greatest cook. Pretty much everything she made was either burnt or bland, with the rare exception of that oven-baked chicken that I showed you on one of my first shows. She also made a pretty decent meatloaf. Everything else I learned and made my own recipes. The cool thing about this, when it's done, it is going to be so tender and juicy. I'll tell you about the tortilla shells while we're waiting. To do the tortilla shells, take a microwave plate, take a stack of 5 tortilla shells, take a paper towel, get it wet, and don't saturate it because it'll just disintegrate. You know, get it damp wet, put it on top of the tortillas, set the microwave on high for 30 seconds. When that's done, that batch will be ready. You'll have 5 nice soft tortilla shells. Very, very simple. All right, let's see how this is looking. One of the other things I've learned about vegetables, Most people think they're healthier when they're raw, not cooked. That's probably a little bit true, but we're not throwing any of this away. So everything that is getting cooked is added. Granted, you've added oil to this. Of course, if we used a bacon grease, which I really would have liked, that would have added some serious calories. But talk about flavor. Oh my, bacon grease is wonderful for cooking stuff like this, vegetables. Matter of fact, when I make my hash browns, I don't use oil, I use bacon grease. I say, whenever I cook bacon, I pour the bacon grease into a mug and keep it in the refrigerator. Bacon grease, it's cured. It'll stay in your refrigerator for 6 months without going bad. It's just amazing stuff. Then you put a tablespoon in the bottom of your pan, drop your hash browns in there. Oh my God, they are so absolutely fantastic. So, but we're gonna, like I said, we use the olive oil. So we're just about ready. I like them extra caramelized. It's a different flavor than just having them fresh. All right, they're starting to get weak or wimpy or whatever you want to say. Limp, that's it. Limp's a good word. That means that they are actually cooking. I'll tell you what we'll do, because this is going to be at least another 4 minutes, and that's a lot of waiting time for you guys, so we'll be back in just a moment. Hey, Fun Guys Foodies, I am back, about ready to do this, and of course I had, this is how it should look on the tortillas. You put the tortillas on the plate, cover it with a paper towel, sprinkle water on the top until it gets, a nice damp thing. Put it in the microwave, set it for 30 seconds. Don't start it right away. This is for, once you're ready to serve. I've got this set ready to go. Okay. Let me show you what this looks like. Look at this. See, it's starting to caramelize really good. It's not quite 100% there yet. I'm going to want it to be about 80% when I add the meat. So it's just about there. I wanted to also mention Happy New Year, since this will come out on Friday right after New Year's. Today's actually the day before New Year's Eve that I'm actually cooking this. Obviously it takes a while to do all the editing and get things posted. So this will come out on the Friday right after New Year's Day. So Happy New Year's once more time. And may it be prosperous and full of fun for all of you. And of course full of really good food. Okay, one more time. That looks about ready. Ready? So now we just add the meat. Put the whole thing in there all at once. Get rid of this into the sink so it can be cleaned. Okay. Mix it up. If you would like, you can actually make the strips of meat smaller. I've seen people literally dice it up to the cube size. Most people like to be able to bite into a strip. Strip is what most fajitas are made out of. But your own preference. But look at this. This won't take long. Figure 3 minutes tops and this will be ready to serve. So it's that simple. I will take pictures like I have been. I think people are liking that a lot better than watching me ramble on and on and on. When there's people here, it's a lot more fun because then you get a little conversation going on. Then it's more like one of the TV cooking shows, which is something I really would like to do, turn it into something more like that. So once this is done, I'll take pictures. When I edit it, you'll see what the final product looks like. But really, that's it. This will be ready. You stir it a couple more times. 3 minutes is about all you need because it's pre-cooked prime rib. You just need to heat it up. And since we ate it at room temperature, it does not take long. Okay, I think that's it. If there's, remember, like, share, and subscribe. We need more people to watch the show, and I look forward to having a great new year with you guys. Once again, thank you for coming to Fun Guy's Kitchen. I'm Fun Guy the Entertainer, cooking for you.